Australia, it's a very two-faced city. It really is. Like it's if you don't live here and you're here for like a week, it'll be the best week of your life. But the moment that you start to know what's around them corners, you're just like, man, fuck this place. Like,
So
yeah,
what
it's
is it? Like
fucking like
why is that?
it's
Like what is
it's
it about this city?
To be honest, bro, I have no idea. I just think because the place is so busy. I've lived in Sydney my whole life, right? I don't know anywhere else. And I went up to Brisbane for a week and I felt like I was in a different country. I was only in a different state, but I just felt so like, oh my God, people would actually let me in. I could cross the road and feel safe about it. I could like talk to people down the street and have confidence that they're going to be like, oh yeah, good mate, yourself. Like, I'm not used to that. In Sydney, it's so like everyone's kept to themselves. Like, if you're a dickhead, you're going to get checked. Don't be a fuckwit. And, like, zombies don't hurt other zombies. That's kind of the best way I can put it. But
Hmm. Oh, interesting.
it's a beautiful city with a lot of chat people.
Wow. How many people are in Sydney?
Mm.
Like is that the biggest city in Australia?
Um, it's I'm not sure about like people wise, but I know that it's the most infamous slash famous.
Yeah.
It's the capital city of the capital government of the fucking like
Country. Yeah,
the
totally.
fucking prime minister lives there, fucking all that shit.
Yeah. What you're saying, it kind of reminds me of the feeling I got from New York City. I lived in New York for a few years, and it's just like, it's great to like come and visit for a week because it's like a playground. But then once you're there,
Mm,
you're like, okay, like the things you have to pay for, it's expensive. The people walking
mm,
around don't really want any kind of, they're off to themselves. They're doing their own thing. It's hard to find a community,
mm,
and
mm.
are you finding that same kind of thing? It's like tough to find a community that to be a part of there.
100%, dude. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm a part of that group where the one that got picked on in high school, the 1%er that couldn't find a group back then, all that shit. Right? All them outcasts will converge in this one suburb of Sydney. It's called Newtown, right? And it's just known for being like, if you're a crazy cunt and you're like fucking hip with the vibe or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like that's just where you go. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, yeah, like if you're an outcast, man, you go there, you'll feel at fucking home, dude. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care what fucking country you come from. If you fucking feel like you don't belong anywhere, go to Newtown.
So it's so
That's
like
it.
so Newtown you feel is like probably the least judgmental place of anywhere you've been.
Yes, and it's like 15 minutes from Sydney CBD, which is pretty impressive. Like,
Well,
but it's just taken off, man. It's like the fucking cool little hip, fucking every cunt's got dreads. Fucking everyone's fucking drinking goon in the park, and the coppers are driving past and they're not really caring, and they're just like, "Hey, take it easy, boys."
so like Australia, like I a lot of people on here on Omegle have very similar feelings to you about these places. Like a lot of people who consider themselves outcasts come to Omegle to kind of like talk to
Mm,
people and stuff and connect. And you meet so many interesting people on here, and also a lot of like crazy people who you just don't really ever want to. But
right.
like in Australia, like what is Australia like? You think compared to the rest of the world?
Um, we're a bunch of loose cannons, I reckon, bro. Um, like honestly, like we are to sports and beer what yous are to fucking NASCAR and football. Like honestly, like it's just like. Have you ever heard of Goon of Fortune?
No.
Okay,
Hold on.
so you know what a Hills hoist is, right?
Wait, Goon of Fortune?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, never heard of it.
So you know what? You know them fucking those Aussie fucking clotheslines, right? The ones that fucking rotate and whatever. You fucking stick a cask wine to one of them, and you get fucking three other mates, and you all stand in a diamond, and you spin the cunt, and whoever it lands, you got to fucking scull it, and then spin it again.
Hmm.
Right? That's Goon of Fortune. Or this is another one of fucking Australia's contributions to the fucking world, I'm pretty sure. Goon spins, which is where you just hold the cask up and you spin and you drink and you don't stop until you hit the ground or there's nothing in the bag.
So, oh, interesting. So yeah, so a lot of like kind of like crazy. What are they like that show Jackass? Have you seen that show Jackass?
Yeah,
Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of like
yeah, bro.
yeah,
Like,
thrilling. Like yeah.
there is always one cunt in every group that you'll just be like, "Oh, dude, like, just go and jump into the bush, eh?" And it's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, just be cool, eh?" Like, "Yeah, all right." Like,
Hmm.
always, like, always.
So
And if there isn't, you just target someone and go, "Do what you're a bitch. Do what you're a bitch." And then if they don't do it, you just call them a bitch for the rest of their life until they do it.
what do you think? What do you think of that? Like, do you think that's like? So you're obviously like there's an aspect of fun there, right? Of like camaraderie and
Yeah, like obviously there's a
but
line.
like
Like
to
I'm
what
not
to
gonna fucking
right,
force
and
someone to jump in a bush,
that's
but
the
like,
yeah, that's the thing is like I'm wondering about it because like I have a very similar thing to my friends where it's like there is this like not so subtle like social pressure to do crazy shit, and it's so much fun when it's just like you guys. But
yeah.
like, to what extent like can it become bullying or can it become you know what like like I or like
when
that kind
it
of that
when it
social
when it
pressure?
becomes a consistent pattern to the point where people expect it, that's when I think it's a problem. When it's been a continual part of your behavior to the point where other people are starting to expect it from you, whatever you're doing, if they don't like it, that's fine. Like I try and be anyway very aware of who I am, not just to me, but to every single other person, because like everyone's different, like I
Right.
am different at fucking everyone, right? So
All right.
it's hard to find that, not balance, because like I don't care what cunts think of me, but I do. Like it's who
Could
I
you?
am.
Well, dude, that's interesting. Could you kind of like talk a little more about that? Like, where is that line? And you know,
Okay, well, how I think of it is, how I started thinking like this was when I was like 14, 15, and I really struggled with finding me as a person and like coming to terms with who I was, and I was different, and so much so that I tried to, I'm not going to say who, but I just tried to look like someone else because I just didn't know what to do. And then I started getting into method acting, and I just started thinking about just reality and more specifically perception and other people's perception and perspective. And it just enabled me to shift out of my mind really easy and think about all these external and internal factors that one is going through. Put them in that mindset and think, right, what do I need to do as me to get them out of it? Like I would become them in my fucking head and be like, okay, what would I want to hear? Like just to try and do the best thing that I could of every situation. And it ended up being, I figured out that the only reason that I am me today is because of everyone else's perception built up of me. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So it's like, especially if you're in a close circle of friends and you all hang out often, like it will happen. Like
Yeah,
it's
how that
unavoidable.
contributes. It's
Like,
crazy, right? Like the more that yeah, of all the social influences that happen outside of you, it creates people create labels that get reinforced to the point where you're hearing it or you're
mm,
subconsciously acting it. You're acting a role subconsciously to be the person that
yeah.
you that to yeah, to fit in so that
Like, dude,
people
it could even be physical things. Like the only reason that humans are not able to fly is right. Let's look at it realistically. One, it will probably be evolution, but two, for as long as I can fucking remember, it has been the number one think of that when you think of impossible, humans flying. It's probably one of the first five, right? And it's just like, why? Why can't? How the fuck do you know, bro? How the fuck do you know that we're not going to be flying in fucking 10 years? You don't know. But you've already said we're not.
Mm.
That's how to not do something, cunt.
Yeah.
It's just, and like, children and toddlers are so susceptible to, like, otherworldly factors, whether they be supernatural or paranormal or whatever the fuck you would call it. Children and I, even myself, like being on the spectrum, I can remember shit vividly, dude. And yeah, I remember some creepy shit. And like, oh man, like I used to tell my mum that I could see an old lady in my room. Like I drew a picture of her. She had a name and everything. Like it was fucking like mum would literally like fucking catch me having conversations with thin fucking air. But even she would be like, no, like he has to be fucking talking to someone. Like he's waiting for them to reply. He's fucking all his mannerisms are literally like he's looking at a person in the fucking room. Like, what the fuck? Like we brought a medium round and she shit herself and she was just like, dude, he is like surrounded by like auras. And I don't know if it's him or another spirit, but like it's heavy, like
Well, so
it's fucked
so
up.
so as you've gotten older and you've thought more about this, this is obviously something for you that like you sense in yourself that you have a connection to some kind of energy or like so what do you think of that right now? Like what has helped you? Are you interested in like learning more about that? Are you interested like what is your relationship like with understanding that
Um,
energy?
Tough because uncertainty is one thing that can do things that not many other things can, and I rate, bro. I will be livid if I don't know something, and if I know that I'll never know it, it'll fucking annoy the shit out of me, and I'm
Human condition, man.
petrified of death. Right?
Mm, yeah.
I'm petrified of death. And what's helping me being is that recently, apart from bombs, is the fact that just consciousness and reality may or may not be two different things. And I've been trying to, because I get like senses and feels and fucking deja vu and all that random shit that every other cunt gets. Like I get that too, but I've always thought about it and I've always been like that deja vu shit is fucked up, man. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
that shit don't just fucking happen. Like it's literally a memory that doesn't exist that is so vivid. And it's like, why have we
mm.
not figured out what the fuck it is? Like, oh, like there's so many things on this earth that bug me, man. And I literally just had like a line of MDMA like an hour and a half ago. So I think that's like aiding this conversation into like 10 different tangents.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's yeah, it's there's a lot to what you're saying. Um, I think there
I
are
feel very heavily about it all.
I think there are people who have kind of looked into this who are actually like regarded as legitimate. I don't know if you know Carl Jung. I don't know if you know Ram Dass. Like these people have like looked at and tried to understand these things, through psychedelics, but then have found like Carl Jung has looked at synchronicity, right? The theory of uh, synchronicity, um,
You know what I'd really like to do, and I feel like you're about to mention it: sensory deprivation.
Oh, interesting. Um,
I would love to do that.
that's why. What is it about that thing that excites you?
The fact that I'm not getting any aid off any psychedelic drug or hallucinogenic drug or anything. It's literally just my body in water and me starving my brain of anything familiar. And
Mm.
it'll just get to the point where your brain cannot handle being that bored. So it'll make things up, whether it be audio or visual or even sense or emotion. Like it'll just be
Yeah. Well,
hectic.
I guess I have a question. So what is the ultimate? What do you think is the ultimate aim? What do you feel like like? What will knowing all of this lead to? Is it peace? Like, is peace the thing that you're trying to find? You think?
I think love, bro. To be honest, but
Great.
love in terms of like peace. Like I'm not doesn't necessarily have to be a partner or I just I have a lot of love to give myself, bro. You know, so I
Mm,
just think that that's
mm.
probably
So you're just trying to
yeah.
find a place where you can give the most love.
I just want to find someone that I'm happy dying with, dude. Like that's all it is. Like I can't get any more real than that. Like it hurts me that my future wife right now is probably sucking someone else's dick. Like that sucks, man. Like, but like oh well. Like what do you do? Like you can sit and
Wow.
whinge about it, or
Yeah,
you
you're
can. I hate to sound like a cliche cunt, but you can grit your teeth and be like, well, fuck it, mate. Like shit happens, cunt.
yeah, you're very sensitive, man. That's really thank you for sharing that, you know. Yeah, it's
Right, no worries, dude.
yeah, dude. I'm telling you, yeah. It's yeah, it's I think so many people are just trying to find that love, you
Enlightenment.
know. I think for me the way that I try to frame it is finding peace in oneself. Um,
Mm.
because I think a lot of people like either look for a partner or look for success or look for acknowledgement because they think that from that they'll find peace and then they can die happy. But I think that like what you're getting at, you know, like being afraid of death, I think that's death is the ultimate like obstacle because but life is also an
It's just the
obstacle.
uncertainty, bro.
It's
Like it's
it's
just the uncertainty. Like I've been on a subconscious mind train, and I've stopped myself mid question, mid thought question, and the thought question was, let's say, wrote, lack of a better term. It was wrote with an implication that I will go somewhere after I die. And when I stopped and caught that thought and I recognized that I implied that subconsciously, I was like, oh, yeah. I've subconsciously implied that I'm going to go somewhere after I die. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm dead. Like, I subconsciously thought that and stopped it midway and was like, that's something. Like, why do I know that? Like, I shouldn't have that subconscious thought because it's like the most uncertain thing in life is death. Like,
mm,
it's
yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, and then it also brings up the question of like, is that a thing that is like inherently in us because of like a spiritual thing? Is it something that is taught to us
that's what I mean. Or like, is
subconsciously?
that actually what consciousness is? Like, there's, it's so,
That deep
it's
belief that
barely
right, there's more.
fathomable, dude.
Yeah,
Like it's
I
like,
th- I
dude, the fact that like like, dude, Flash Gordon, everything, like, I hate to be one of those cunts that's like I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se, but I think I overthink about a lot of shit that I shouldn't. Like, for example,
Mm.
everything is solid matter per se. If you were to vibrate yourself at the resonant frequency of that fucking matter, if you did it at the right time, at the right spot, on paper, theoretically, you should be able to put your hand through the fucking wall. That's just, it's just vibrations, dude. Like, it's kind of like when a fucking tree falls in the forest, if no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? I'll tell you, no, it fucking doesn't. Because nothing is there to perceive that as a sound. It's just fucking vibration. Only when we fucking hear it do we go, oh, what's that? Like, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
fucking
there's.
said that to my grandma and she spun the fuck out. She was like, you know what? I think you're right. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, no, seriously, I think you might be onto something. And she Googled it and she was like, dude, like, you hit that nail on the head. I'm like, what do you mean? And she read this article about, oh, the wise old riddle is now answered. And it was like, literally, in order for it to be called a sound and not a vibration, something with ease has to be there. So, like, you do have to fucking hear it. Motherfucker, go find that tree, cunt.
Hmm.
No, but like,
Well, it's
yeah,
what's there's so many interesting things about you that I'm interested in kind of like asking about is like one one is I'm just fascinated by how often you use cunt, right? Like I think that's like as kind of like a
that's just
colloquial
an
thing.
Aussie thing, dude.
Yeah. Oh, is okay. Like I wonder like to what because like I'm sure a lot of people come on here and are going to be like, wow, that's so interesting that's kind of like your colloquial thing of like making it like a hangout set. Like I think that's culturally very interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like it's the universal particle of words over here. To be honest, dude, like I can be talking about the cunts over the road, and I don't necessarily mean that they're bad people. I just mean that they're people. Like, I'll give us that cunt over there. Like that means remote. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just out of all the fucking words for us Australians to pick, we picked the most vile fucking. I was watching porn the other day, and this chick, this American chick, was literally like, "Ah, yeah, do like that, you little cunt." And like the way she said it, I could tell that even she didn't want to say it. In porn, they wince at this word in porn, cunts. Like it's that bad.
so
Like,
I wonder like I think this the thing that I'm fascinated with is that if I sense from you a real want to connect and a want to love, but if the words that you're using could very easily disconnect yourself from other people because those words are viewed as very
I,
vile. You know, like don't you think that that
I
is
know what you mean,
yeah.
and not just that, but another thing that doesn't help my case in that exact sense is I'm all about my banter. Like I love banter. If I don't call you a dickhead, I probably don't like you. Like honestly, I'm just that one cunt that like all your mates go, listen, you're gonna think he's picking on you. It's not. It's just how he
Right.
is. All
And
right, don't take
yeah.
it personal. Like,
Well, right.
it's
And
just
the thing is that like I can from you like the reason I'm not offended is because I well first of all I think like I'm a person who always sees the love in another person, and so I see the vibe of love and the vibe of your banter and that you really like talking and
mm,
connecting by big ideas. But the thing is that if we
mm,
want to try to build if we want to try to build bridges with each other, right? Then we need to be aware of like of of our language, you know, and
yeah,
if
like
that language
cultural differences.
exactly. And so like there are a lot of people that don't unfortunately who don't look at each other and see love right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
And so like I feel like in some ways like it's important to be aware and make concessions if you want to call it. I think that's a bad way of putting it, but like of like meeting people through language at a common ground. And I don't think the word
Mm.
cunt, or dickhead, even though it's like fun banter, is a place where you can like get to the most people and communicate with them effectively to then spread the love that you're interested in spreading and connecting with people. I guess that's the reason I'm talking about it.
I see, but I suppose like look, if I wouldn't do it straight off the bat when meeting someone for the first time,
In person, right,
unless
right.
they like I happen to be with one of my mates that knew me, because then I wouldn't I'd just be my full self. Like I'd be relentless, but not relentless, but like one reason why I like doing it is like every single one of my ex girlfriends, every single time I fucking called them, I've just been like, "Hey, what are you doing, you dog?" They're like, "Yeah, nothing, you mate. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, fucking nothing, bro. Like, you want to come around?" I'm like, "Yeah, I see, seen your dog. Yeah, let him up." Like, and I'm like that because if they're ever out in the world and someone tries to talk shit to them,
Mm.
they can laugh and just be like, "Bro, my man has called me worse shit than that." like,
Mm.
like that's nothing. Like, and I've seen the rough skin that I put on people sometimes just from being a little bit of a fucking and and it helped me a lot. Like I was raised by no one but a woman. I was very fucking feminine when I was younger, and cunts doing this and doing that for me, like done me head in for a few years. But once I got used to it and fucking started giving it back to the cunts, I was like, no, this is mad. like this is how you can take care of cunts while simultaneously like giving them a rough skin. As long as you're fucking like timing and is everything, but yeah, like as long as you're fucking alright about it, you can just, oh, what are you doing, you dickhead? Like, hey, you know what I mean, Joe? Say dickhead, right? Ah, yeah, dickhead. Like, like just shit.
Mm.
I just like, as long as can't understand that I don't mean any of it, like you'll know when to take it seriously, then it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and yeah, I obviously, maybe not obviously. I think one of the I get the sense that you use it as an endearing kind of like, okay, only people that I hang out with would I use such language with, and like I get that. And I just wonder, I wonder just how many people are actually sensitive to that, right? Like we get it, but we're also like of a different, I don't know. We're both guys. We're both white guys. We're both, not women. We're both, like
yeah.
and then also I think it's really interesting your idea of putting on the thick skin, right? Because it's like I think to be able to get to a place where I think of getting to for us to be able to get to a place where we can access our creative self and our love and that kind of frequency in life, we have to shed the thick skin. We have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to talk as ourselves. And so, like, I understand the,
Mm,
the need to want to develop a thick skin because the world fucking sucks, dude. And people get
yeah,
hurt. People get hurt,
legit.
but people are going to get hurt um, regardless, Rich people are going to have trauma, poor people are going to have trauma. Whites, blacks, Jews, Asians are all going to have trauma. And I think the approach isn't to develop a thick skin because shit's always going to be bad, but to learn how to be supportive to other people even though the world is so bad, and to allow
Mm,
us to be ourselves and to not get that thick skin, because when we get the thick skin then we close ourselves off, we don't communicate as well with others, and then we disconnect. And I guess that's one of the reasons I'm on this channel. And I just think I don't feel like I could talk about this with many people like this.
mm.
Um, and I
Yeah,
appreciate,
I'm pretty like
you're open, dude. I
yeah,
can
I'm pretty
totally,
chill, dude.
dude,
Like
I could
yeah,
totally tell
100%.
that you're like, you are a big thinker, and we need more big
Oh
thinkers
shit.
in this world, Like the way that you're
I
kind of
just
talking
I
about this
hate
stuff is
being
amazing.
so empathetic, dude. Like it's like as much as it pains me to say I wish I wasn't, I really do. Like I wish like I still haven't gotten the fucking woman's face over the fucking edge of the doctor's counter that my mum yelled at when I was 5 because they didn't bulk bill. Like like it hurts, man. And for me being so worried about everything else in the world, I never worry about me ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe like 2 days a week I'll sit at home and be like, fuck, I'm really depressed today. Oh, rah, 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 like shit, whatever. I have a fucking bit of a cry, then I'll jump on the decks and make some music or whatever. Do some fucking roadie things or something. Like I'll fucking, but it's like, yeah, man, like as someone who cares about other people and have for quite some time. Like I'm not having a good time unless everyone's having a good time. If everyone's around me having a
Yeah.
good time, I'm having a fucking good time.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just
Totally.
that's how it's supposed to go. Like I just can't. Like if I have someone stay at my house, I'm sleeping on the couch. They're taking the bed. Right? They're the guest. It's just how the fuck I am, cunt. And it's the same when it comes to fucking shit like this. But it just, oh, bro, like
Well, I gotta ask
wigs
you,
me
like,
out how fucking like just have a guess how old I am. Honestly, like just with what you've seen.
I'd guess 17.
Shit, no, I'm 22.
Oh, okay, cool. I had no idea.
I'm
I'm
22,
so bad with
but
that stuff.
I'm a fucking baby. Like I've barely scraped through a quarter of my life, right? And that's nothing. And like all these cunts my age think they fucking know the world and they're going out right now and they're going to clubs because I'm not sick, I'm not sick. And, like, fuck, I've never gambled in my life. I want to go have a fucking slap. I want to go have a drink. I can't drink because my kidneys are fucked, but I want to go have a drink. Like, but I'm not because I don't care about me, bro. Fuck if I
Mm.
get COVID. I'm fucking a 22-year-old male. I'm fucking sweet. It's the fucking 80 people that I've walked past in the past 3 days, and my mum that I've just gone to visit, and my friends who I've been hanging around, and like I would instantly think that I have killed every single one of them and their families, and oh, like how cunts are outside their house walking around right now, like without a mask and shit, is like it's the same type of people that's like, oh my god, fuck the president, bro, what a shit cunt, and then like they don't vote, and it's like, do you have rocks inside? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, did your fucking brain fall out, cunt? Like,
Mm.
oh, I hate when people are so stupid.
Well,
Like,
well, um, yeah, man. So, like, for like, I want to come back to this idea of like that you think about others way more than you think about yourself, which you know, for you, like,
uh,
what are the things that you like to do? Like, what are your hobbies? What do you like doing?
oh, there's only two things, dude. There's only music, so I'm a DJ slash producer. I've been doing that for like 9 years, 9 years. And then on my day job is just panel beater, so like auto body mechanic.
Wow. So that is very artistic, though. That's creative work, like working on cars and stuff. You know, it's like putting things
Mm.
together, figuring out how things work, right? And
Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. I've got Asperger's, mate. I'm fucking all up in that shit. Like,
what does that
legit.
mean? Like, what does that mean?
But
Like, what is like for you? What does that mean to have
so,
Asperger's? What is that
well,
like?
I know that I'm on the spectrum, and I know that I find it quite similar to ADHD. But like take this with a grain of salt because I don't know if I have ADHD or not. That's not diagnosed, but from everything I've seen about it, it looks very similar. Like um, I used to not read social cues when I was younger. Like I could be talking someone's ear off and they would just not be interested at all, and I would think they're loving it. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's bad. It's bad. That's why I ended up where I did in high school. But by then I was like, man, fuck every other cunt. Like I'm only gonna be here for 3 years. Fuck as well. that was all right. But it you just got to live with it, man. Like every cunt's got a brain. This is just the one that I've been given. Like I can't change it. Like I think I spent the first 5 6 years of my life wanting to be a woman before I was like finally accepted that like I had a dick. like
Hmm.
so much shit, man. Like and just being on the spectrum, it's very different. It's like imagine if you've just come into class to take the test, and every single person around you is filling it in no problem, and you're just like, what the fuck? And cunts are like, dude, you took this test yesterday, and you're like, no, I know. Fuck. That's exactly what it's like with everyday life, with every situation ever. I'm watching all these normal cunts do it with no anxiety, no nothing, no emotional attachment to it. And I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, I wish I could act upon my thoughts with no emotion. Like, you don't even realize what you're doing, cunt. You're just living. Like, how the fuck I wish, cunt. Like, it's so, it's fucking heavy, man. It's really heavy. Your whole life you question whether or not you're normal. Your whole life you question how close you are to normal. You question how you've been, how you will be, how you are. You question your intelligence. You question everything, dude. Like, only when you're truly comfortable, like you actually have to not give a fuck and be like, look, I probably am a little bit disabled somewhere in my life, but who the fuck isn't? So like,
That's right.
yeah, but it's different. It's
Yeah.
different. It's like walking in. Every cunt knows the answers of the test, and you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I studied this yesterday. I know I should know everything, but I know fuck all. Like that's exactly what it feels like. It's fucked
Uh,
up.
yeah, that resonates with me. That resonates with me. I don't consider, like I don't really have any. Um, I just, that feels just so human. I feel like so many humans. Like I don't know if it's a Asperger's thing or an ADHD thing or what, but I feel like that's a human thing that people walk into a situation and they feel so completely um, unprepared for it. Um,
Mm.
so that resonates a lot with me, dude. Thank you so much for being so open. You're a really cool
Oh, you're
guy.
sweet, dude.
You're a really cool dude.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, man.
What can I name you? What name would you like to use for the video?
Uh, just use my DJ name.
What is it?
Oops.
Could you type that in? So
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna laugh.
No way. Dude, that's amazing. Dude, I told my dad that if I die before him, I want oops on my tombstone.
What? Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Okay. Before we go, I came up I wrote like a bunch of different questions. I have a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I usually have people just choose three numbers between 1 and 45, and then I ask them those questions. So pick three
1 and
numbers
45.
between 1 and 45. Yeah, three numbers.
123 and 37.
Cool. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You said one. I'm so glad you said. No one has said one yet.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So the question number one is define love.
Oh, oh, fuck. Well, define love. I mean, love can be a lot of things, can't it? It's really it's what you make of it. It's what you love. It's how much you love it. How much are you prepared to lose and or gain for said thing? And it just like you got to find the love juice that's worth the squeeze. That's yeah. I'm happy with that one.
Is that from The Girl Next Door? That movie, The Girl Next Door? Is the juice worth the squeeze?
I've never seen that.
Oh, I gotta type this. You'll love it.
No, I stole that off one of my mates.
Or yeah,
The girl next door.
that's the
Oh
movie.
wait, that's Drew Barrymore, isn't it?
That's yeah, Alicia
Is it
Cuthbert.
Drew Barrymore?
Alicia Cuthbert.
Oh,
Yeah, she's one of my big crushes. Alicia Cuthbert, if you ever watch this, I would love to meet you.
uh,
Okay. I have number 23 is what are you looking forward to next?
getting my car fucking registered again.
Your car
I
is out
just
of order.
fucking it's Japan import, but it's like, bro, any lower and I'd be scraping over leaves. Okay, honestly, um, it's bad. It's really loud, and I'm on my learner's permit, and it's a Nissan 300 ZX. You never see them, and it looks like it just sticks the fuck out, and it's bright purple. And I had no number plate on the bar because I didn't want to put screws through it. So I had the number plate on the windshield with the L plate on the windshield on the like slammed, bro, on the ground. Like, cunts think I have bags, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I just have walk over everything. Like, does it suck? Yes, it does. Does it look good? Fucking looks mad, bro. Don't shut up. Like, you're either gonna scrape the lip or the exhaust, and I do not give a fuck about the bottom of my exhaust cunt. Like, I don't give a fuck. But coppers seen me and pulled me over, and the dude, I didn't realize there was another copper there. And as the one was talking to me, he was like bent down looking under my car. And he was like, dude, I can't even look under this thing. Like, your exhaust is on the ground. Like, your muffler's like on the ground. Is this like, this car's really low, dude? I'm like, oh, it's legal. He went, really? And I'm like,
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
Not really. It's like, it's as low as I can get it, still being able to drive. Like,
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that'll be nice to. Dude, thank God for cars, right? Oh, I didn't drive for so many
hmm?
years, and it's like it just gives you such a sense of freedom, and oh my God.
Oh, dude, I can't fucking wait. I've been on my fucking learner's permit since I was like 19. So, like, 3 years I've been on my L's for. I can't drive on my own. It's so shitty. I only have my license if some other cunt has their license. That's fucked.
Yeah, man, it's gonna open a whole new world. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I was about to say, where's my phone? I'll fucking show you. But, like, I'm on my fucking.
Oh, is this on your phone?
It looks like I've got a computer set up, but I've literally just put it over the top of the fucking computer screen.
Oh, wow.
Just because, like, I was on my computer and my computer's internet was so shitty. I was like, bro, fuck this, man. Like, no cunt needs to know. I'm not going to tell them anything. They'll just think, look, I'll just do this. They'll just fucking think I'm going to keep it fucking sweet, bro. Like, I'm not a poor cunt.
Well, I got one more question for you. Oops.
Hit me.
All right, here it is. What is your earliest memory?
Wow, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Um, fuck. Oh, well, I'm guessing because it was the early 2000s. Um, I'm trying to think of which one I can say. Because I got two in my head, but both of which I'd kind of not. Here we go. I was probably between the ages of 4 to 6, which, like, not to piss in my pocket, but even for me, like, that's impressive. Like, the vividness of the memory has gone, but I can remember having it vividly, if that makes sense. It was me and my stepdad, who I haven't seen in fucking years, unwrapping a bit of a fishing pole from a telegraph pole, putting bait on a hook. I didn't even know if the cunt had a sinker, and we just threw the fucking line in. Ended up getting a fucking decent fish, and yeah, I know, right? Like, I knew nothing about fishing, bro. If I tried to pull that shit now, I'd be like, bro, what are you, fucking MacGyver, cunt? Like, relax, bro. Get a rod, get a sinker. All right, we'll do the cast and fucking wrap around a pole. What's this shit? Like, but looking back on it now, I'm surprised we caught something, dude. And I probably think he was as well, but just tried to hide it. But, like, fuck, man, like, yeah, the fact that I can remembering that, yeah, like, it's different in its own way. It's like a memory of a memory. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's very,
Do
very
you have
weird.
fond memories of your stepdad?
No, he was a cunt. um, he was in and out of jail, like, just total cunt. But my mum remarried, I think, 7, 8 years ago now, and dude, like, fucking, he treats her like a queen. Like, I love him.
That's
Like,
great.
he's yeah, he treats mum how she deserves to be treated. So I'm happy now. Yeah,
Yeah, well, dude,
yeah.
that's a great place to kind of yeah. Before we get going, then I'm glad that your mom is being treated as she deserves, and that you're happy with that, and it sounds like a decent situation. And before we go,
Oh well, I just need to get there.
do you have any last kind of thing you'd want to say to the audience, or pieces of advice, or just one last thought?
Yeah. Just something to stick with everyone who's watching this, that may or may not have even resonated with something I've said. Everyone's a person, okay? Everyone could be going exactly what you're going through. Everyone could be doing fucking 200 times worse, or they could be doing a lot better and still be depressed. Like, everyone is different. Treat everyone as if they had fragility, because coming from someone who's been a soldier and has been through quite a lot, I am still a sensitive person, and it's just good to respect that. Like, no one, I don't care who the fuck you are, bro. No one is gonna tell, like, an acquaintance how they're actually feeling. No one in their right mind, right? In saying that, if you just simply preserve the sense that they might be in a fragile state, you will get respect back in spades, no matter what country you're in, no matter what language you speak. Just by following that simple fucking rule, you may be able to save a life even one day. And that's the important part. Like, it's yeah, everyone's fragile.
Oops, it was great to have you on, man. It was yeah, it was
Thanks,
a
man. It's
blast.
been it's been a pleasure.
Um, yeah, make sure I'm gonna upload this video right now, and make sure to subscribe so that you can see it when it pops up.
Oh, dude, I'm subbing straight away. Like, yeah,
Awesome, man.
100%.
Cool, dude. And yeah, to everyone else out there, like yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and we love you. We love you out there. All right,
Likewise, bro. You too.
all right.
I'm glad someone with a good heart's actually making a difference.
Thanks, dude. Well, you're part of it. Don't forget that. Peace.
Likewise, dude.
See ya.
Later, bro.
Took one gigantic hit of that bong. Oh my. Uh, oops. Cool dude.